guys, I'm Brianna. Welcome back to my channel. I'm so happy to finally be back. It's summer vacation. I'm done with finals. I'm finally home. It's just been a great time. I've been home for about a week now, and it's actually been pretty great. I love it here. The weather has not been the greatest, but other than that, I'm living life. But I wanted to do a book haul for you guys. I got a ton of stuff from Amazon, Barnes & Noble. I have 2 books from my library that I want to share with you, and then I have a book series that my mom gave me that will be in my wrap-up. I'm going to wait to film my wrap-up until after May, like the end of May, so then I'll do a wrap-up from March to May, because I've been absent for too long. And then I'm probably going to throw in a couple college videos, which my channel's not really for that, but I figured I'd want to talk about my freshman year a little bit with you guys, and yeah. But okay, so to start, my mom gave me this, it's called the Dark Sword series. It's by Donna Grant. So this is the first book. It's Dangerous Highlander. There are 6 books in this series. So I have 5 here. The last one is downstairs. I'm reading book 5, so I don't have it. But the first one's Dangerous Highlander. The second one's Forbidden Highlander. Wicked Highlander. Untamed Highlander. I forgot what the one I'm reading is called. Shadow Highlander, and then Darkest Highlander. And basically, what these series are about, so Donna Grant, all her series connect. It kind of reminds me of a, I'm trying to think of what author connects series. I don't remember. But basically, these are fantasy and romance. They're, I guess, like historical fiction, romance, fantasy. It's weird. So basically the premise of this is the men in this book, there are 3 brothers and they're warriors. So basically they are able to turn into like this creature that is a god, and there was a whole war that started this, why the druids had to make the gods come to earth so they can defeat the British and keep Scotland for themselves. It's like a whole big thing. I definitely recommend it. It's really good, and what I do like about it, it reminds me of Tilly Cole, where each book is a different person's romance, but the plot continues. I jumped right into it. I literally started this a couple days ago, and I'm already on the 5th book. So there's 6 books in this series, and then there's the Dark Warrior series, which is this. This is the first book, Midnight's Master. So there's that, and then there's like the Dragon series. It's like a whole bunch of stuff, but I'm probably just gonna chill with those books for now and read them because they're really good. They're based in Scotland, so if you like Scottish books, definitely recommend it. They are adult books though, so be prepared. So the 2 library books I have so far are Slayer by Kiersten White. This is a Buffy the Vampire Slayer kind of retelling-ish. I think it's kind of about, it's based on Buffy and they're like the last Slayers left, something like that. But it seemed interesting. Again, I'm late to the game with a lot of these YA or adult romances just because I've been away for so long and out of the booktube community. But this seems really good. It's a decent size. I have it until June, so I'll definitely be reading them. Then I have The Wicked King by Holly Black. I have not bought the book just because, I don't know, like I loved the first book, but I just wasn't feeling buying the second one, so I got it from the library. I have to reread the first book, and if you do remember a while back in my video, I talked about wanting to reread The Cruel Prince, so I do have to do that. I think I'm gonna read all the books my mom gave me first, and then do The Cruel Prince and then The Wicked King. I'm excited. It's the sequel. I think there's 3 books in out so far. I don't know if it's a trilogy or if it's a longer series. This is a fae type of world. It's a fantasy book. I, again, love the first book. I got it as an ARC, so I recommend it. I haven't read this one, but we'll see how I like it. Then from, I guess, yeah, let's do my Barnes & Noble haul first. So this I got a while back, and it's The One You Can't Forget by Ronnie Lauren. This is book 2 from the one who got away. This series is about survivors of a school shooting, and it's them, I think, like 10 or 15 years later. So the first book basically was about them meeting up to film a documentary and all about that. And this one's about Rebecca. I don't really know anything about this book besides it's about Rebecca, who's in the first book. I'm excited. Again, I'm going to read the first book before I read this one, even though you don't have to. I just prefer to because I like to keep my things in order. But yeah, I am excited to read this book, and this is, I guess, an adult fiction novel? Romance in it? Yeah. But I do think these are very, like, prevalent reads just because school shootings are in it, so I think this is very interesting to see the survivors aspect of things, or point of view. Then I have Sit, Stay, Love by Debbie Burns. I have no clue if I've put this in a haul before, but this has been at college with me, like, the whole year. This is book 2. Don't ask me why I don't have book 1. I really don't know. So story time. I got about a decent way through. Oh, here it is. There's my thing. I got to 168, page 168, so like there. It was good. To me it was a very basic novel. There weren't a lot of big elements. So this is about they're rehabbing rescue dogs that were used in a dogfighting ring. And she's she's a sweet girl. She doesn't really know, like, the real world. And this guy is an ex-military vet who, why did I say ex and vet in the same, I don't know what's happening. But he worked in the canine unit in the military, so he kind of is brought on to rehab these dogs. And it's kind of about their romance with the dogs. It was okay. Again, that's probably why I stopped reading it. I'll probably just pick up from there again when I decide to read the book. Then I got Fumbled by Alexa Martin. I'm very excited for this. This is book 2. There was no series name, but the first book was Intercepted. I don't know if you can see it. No, I moved it. But it's kind of a football romance, so it's with a NFL player athlete, but the woman, so they're in the NFL, but it's more like real life stuff. So for her, she was 16 and pregnant, and she's kind of built her whole life, and the dad's not in the picture, all that, and then she ends up running into an NFL player that I think she either dated or was friends with in the past, and they had a meeting, and it was all about that, and it's probably going to be their story. Still debating if I'm going to read Intercepted again. I don't know if I will. It depends, but I'm very excited to jump into this. The cover's really, really pretty. It's like it reminds me of a watermelon, like it's pink and green. Then I'm very excited for this, and that's The Dating Game by Kylie Roche, or Roche. I still don't know how to pronounce her last name. But this just came out, I think, the end of April. And for me, I love Kylie's writing. I don't necessarily agree with some of her opinions and point of views that she puts in it. As you can see from my Frat Girl review on Goodreads, I was very passionate about that. But I really love her writing, and I think a big thing is they're in college, so I just really relate to that, especially being now a sophomore in college, so all that. But this is about a group of freshmen who are in this super hard class, and they have to create a project, so they decide to create a dating app. So out there, some dating apps, and all this stuff happens, romance blossoms, and it's college, and yeah. But I'm very excited to read this. I'm curious to see what she does with it, but this one is definitely going to be on the top of my TBR list because, yeah. And it's a lot smaller than Frat Girl, which I'm very surprised, but I'm going into it. Also, apologies if you hear my dog barking, because she's barking. So sorry. Next, I have Nexus by Sasha Alsberg and Lindsay Cummings. I love them so much. I really enjoyed Zenith. I got an arc of it, so I did review it on Goodreads. I don't think I ever actually reviewed it on my channel, but I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5, I believe, and if you've read it, you'll understand why. If you want to read my review, go ahead. But this is book 2, and this is the conclusion because it's a duology, so I'm very excited to get into it. I love the cover also, and I'm kind of upset they cover changed it from the first book because they don't have the hardcover of this cover, if I'm making sense. So I don't know if I'm ever going to buy the first cover, we'll see, but I'm very excited to get into it and finish the series. Again, I'm going to reread Zenith before I read this book, because it's just a whole bunch of things. I need to like refresh my memory and figure out what's happening. But yeah, I'm very excited to get into this, and this is kind of a sci-fi fantasy type of novel. Then these are my Amazon book haul. So I have Under Lock by Mariana Zapata. All I know about this is there's motorcycles involved from the cover. That's literally it. I'm very excited to get into it. I've loved Mariana's book. She's either a 4 or 5 star author for me, and I do want to collect her books, but they're super expensive because they're really big. But I'm hoping to get to this soon. Then I've been hearing wonderful reviews about this, just from Peace Love Books Reddit, and I think she gave it a 5 out of 5. This is a trilogy. Don't have book 2 or 3. I definitely am just going to stick with this one. But it's called Rhapsody, by Laura Thalissa. I just butchered that whole thing. I apologize, guys. But this seems really interesting. It seems very dark. So it has a siren in it, and she bargains with people, and then they have to pay for it with, it's like death, or like she gives them something to do for her, like a favor. And I don't know, it just seems really good. It's very dark. I'm definitely going to get into this because of Chili Cole, and I love the dark side of things. So as soon as I have time to be available to read, I'm going to read this book. Again, upset with this cover change, but I bought it anyway, and that's Released by Lucia Franco. This is book 3 out of 4 of the Balance series. This is a gymnastics, I guess, forbidden romance, because he's the coach and she is the athlete, gymnast. Very excited to read it. I hate that she cover changes the books. That's okay. My biggest pet peeve is when authors cover change it mid-series. Just makes me so mad, because I have the first 2 books and the normal covers that I loved, and then it's like, oh, here's the new covers, which I'm not hating on. Like, I really enjoy them, but I just hate that she did it mid-series. She could have waited until after the release of everything and then put out the new covers. But yeah, I'm excited for this. Again, a lot smaller. She may have used different pages. I think she used different pages, but a lot smaller than Balance and Execution. So I'm curious to see what she does with this book. And then I don't know if I put these on a book haul, but I'm going to do it anyway. So I have Misadventures with the Speed Demon by Shel Bliss. I've already read this. I have my review on Goodreads. I haven't put it in a wrap-up yet, but I enjoyed it. It was a pretty good book. It's about a race car driver, and so she's like kind of the dad's assistant. So her brother race car drives, and then a new kid is brought up, and then it's their romance. And it was a pretty good book. It was just interesting to see the race car world. It's more, I think they're younger, so it's not too like NASCAR professional yet. Then I have Misadventures with a Country Boy by Elizabeth Haley. Excited to read this too. All I know about this is this guy, I think he's on a motorcycle or a truck, and he's at a gas station, and then he picks up this girl who is escaping from, I think it's either she's escaping from the parents or the career. I don't know, but they form a connection, and it's in the country, so I was like, why not read it, because I do love my cowboys, so excited to read this soon. Okay, and then this, I wasn't really expecting to buy it, but then I read it, and then I was in a Grey's Anatomy mood, and I was like, I'm buying it. And that's Hot Shot Doc by Aris Gray. This is a huge, like, standalone series by her, these types of books. She's very big on rom-coms. I've said it in previous videos. I've really enjoyed her books so far. I have 3 of them right here that I own, but this is a doctor romance, and I'm very excited to read this. So basically, he apparently is a big douche, but he's like I think she has to either switch hospitals or work under him now, or something like that. So it's kind of their relationship, very Grey's Anatomy-like, so I'm very excited to get into that. And the last book is Sick, F-U-X by Tilly Cole. Very excited for this. This is, okay, it's weird. It's like a twisted Alice in Wonderland type of book. I don't know how I'm going to feel about it, but I've been hearing wonderful things about it. It's a standalone novel, and just the cover is, like, really cool. And then on top it says TikTok. So I'm just very excited to get into it. I love all of Tilly Cole's books. Again, I've given it 4s or 5s. Her books are just phenomenal, so this is going to be no different, but I'm very excited to get into it. So that's my book haul. It's a pretty big book haul, but I'm very excited to read these books. Again, I'm super sorry for being absent because of college. Things just got super busy, but I'm back now. It's summer. I will be filming a lot as long as I read a lot. But yeah, I hope you guys have been having a great year so far, and I will see you guys in my next video.